Hello everybody, my name is Marlo and welcome back to TekTopia, where last time round we built our base here underneath the Guardian farm alongside the storage to hold all of the drops that this farm produces, which is currently giving me some backlog issues because as you can see here, it is oh so efficient. There are Guardians galore in the killing chamber and I cannot quite keep up with them, so hopefully we'll be able to do something with that for today. But last episode we also built up the centerpiece to our city here, which is this storage building, and I got so many great responses to this building and just the episode as a whole last time, and I just want to say once again a massive thank you to all of you who left those very kind comments. Really glad so many of you enjoyed it. Hopefully we can have another good episode here today, because we are actually going to be building up 4 new platforms. They're actually going to be the 4 closest to the center here. It's going to be the 2 areas for the trees and our lumberjacks to go to, a farming area, as well as the animal pens, and those are going to be off in these 4 sides over here. But before we start any of that, I need to come back down to my base here and organize myself and get myself set up to do a little bit of a live stream very shortly, which would have already happened, by the way. It's happening shortly for me, not for you guys. This live stream has come and gone, but I need a lot more of this stuff. Quartz for this village, and I thought I stream for about an hour and a half to 2 hours. I could probably get a substantial amount in that time that would probably supply me for a good number of episodes, so that's what we're going to be doing. And it's even better because I just get to hang out with you guys instead of just being stuck in the nether by myself for a very long time. You guys always make it more fun. Link to my Twitch channel is in the description. Go check it out and follow me. I'd love to see you there. Okay, I am ready and set up to go for the stream. I'm here in the nether, got all my supplies in hand. I'm here in a little bit of a cubby hole just for now whilst we start the stream. I don't want to be dying right off the bat here, but I hopefully won't have any of that because I'm nice and prepared. Got fire resistance potions as well as night vision with plenty more in here. Lots of rockets, backup elytra, plenty of blocks and food. Hopefully all should go swimmingly, so I should return to you guys in just 1 second with lots and lots of quartz. 1 live stream later and we are back with all of this as well as this amount of quartz, which is a lot. I am very happy. It was a super productive stream. Now time to go break all of this down, turn it into full blocks, and then I think we're also going to get started on those 4 platforms that we're going to be building today. So there we go, 1, 2, 3 and 4 rings all built up and are ready to have some stuff built on them, which we will start in just a second. But before we do, I want to say I hope you enjoyed the construction and deconstruction of that quartz tower. It actually took an entire 2 day-night cycles. Funnily enough, it was actually 40 minutes exactly, which is exactly 2 day and night cycles. Kind of weird how that worked out, but yeah, took a bit longer than I thought it would, so hopefully that was nice and satisfying to watch. But anyway, the first one of these rings that we are going to fill out is going to be the crop farms. I think we'll start nice and simple. That's probably the plainest of all of these rings, and I guess it doesn't really matter which ones we build on. And yes, I will be adding in the pathways at some point today. I'm just not sure how I'm going to get over the hurdle that is the wall to the Guardian farm. Still need to figure that out, so just for now we're going to do the rings. But basically the way the crop farm is going to work, nice and simply, we're just going to split split this circle up into 4 separate quadrants. So one will be for wheat, carrots, potatoes, and beetroots, and then we'll just have a path going off like in a plus shape in the center. Should be, whoop, pressed F5 one too many times there. Should be a pretty easy task. Just gotta go get a bunch of seeds, basically. This, by the way, was how much blocks of quartz we got from that pillar. A pretty good amount for 2 hours worth of work, I'd say. So there we go, the crop platform is all done, with the exception of a couple of things. One is I need to put something over these water sources here. I'm either going to just do iron trap doors, potentially like a lily pad, although I don't think that would really look great, or maybe just a fence with an end rod on top for a little bit of extra lighting, but end rods sometimes cause pathfinding issues, so I will probably go with iron trap doors, although those could also cause issues. But anyway, the only other thing I have to figure out, which I'm going to save till later, is the underside of this platform. And truthfully, I don't really know what I'm going to do with these platforms. I'm thinking at the moment I may just bring this white concrete down by potentially a couple of blocks here, maybe getting another block in, possibly this middle one could be light blue. Just making it a bit thicker, looking as though it's actually, you know, floating on the surface of the ocean, and then we can cover up everything below nice and easily, and then we'll add in our pillars, of course. But as I said, I'll come back and do that later. Some of you may also be wondering what my plans are as far as sugarcane is concerned. Am I going to place any on this platform here? And the answer is no, I'm not going to do that. Simply because sugarcane quite often causes a lot of pathfinding issues. They'll quite often harvest it and then just kind of get stuck in there until I relog in the world. And I may have already mentioned this in a previous episode, I can't honestly remember, but I want this village to be as efficient as possible. I don't want any pathfinding issues. I don't want villagers getting stuck on things. I know it may happen every now and again with bugs, but if I know that things cause that, then I'm going to try and avoid it at all costs. Like I won't be using end rods that'll get in the way like they did a lot in Arduino, nor will I be doing sugarcane. They don't really provide that much to the village anyway, and if needs must, I could always just harvest some myself and stick it in the storage room. Anyway, let's get started on the next 2 platforms, which are going to be the 2 tree farms. One is going to go over here, and the other is going to be on the opposite side of the storage there. The final one we'll save for the animal pens, which we'll get to shortly. But for right now, let's focus on the tree farms. And these are basically going to work in the same concept as the crop farms, where we split it up into 4 separate quarters, one for each tree type, which is oak, birch, spruce, and what's the other one? Jungle? I know there's also acacia and dark oak in Minecraft, but the lumberjacks do not harvest them in TekTopia. You only have those 4 tree types, and you can't sell any of the others to the merchant, so really it's pointless having them. But yeah, we're going to have 8 trees of each type on one platform, so that'll mean 16 on both of them together, for a grand total of 64 trees combined on both of these platforms, which hopefully should be enough, but I do have plans of how we could possibly add more in if need be. What is that? Why is there a giant rectangle on my new platform? And there's even a square one over here, about the same size as a chunk. I'm really hoping that is just some rendering glitch, because there's nothing in the sky to cast the shadow down. There's also no sun to cast the shadow. Hopefully it fixes when I relog into the world here. Well, that's not great. Come on, keep loading in. It's been a bit slow. Maybe if we go place a torch on it, that'll solve the problem. Sometimes these sort of lighting glitches happen, and they can be super annoying because they just don't go. It's not as frequent in the current version of the game, but obviously we're in 1.12. That's not the current version. This is going to really annoy me and everyone else if this doesn't fix the issue. Okay, cool. I guess a torch does do the trick. Fingers crossed that doesn't happen again. I'll just maybe place one more over here or a couple. Yeah, not sure what caused that, but hopefully that's the last time we'll see any of that sort of thing. I'll go do the same for the other side. But yeah, as you can see, we got the tree farm all built up. The only thing it's missing is, well, the trees. And that's because I have to go back to Eriduine and grab a bunch of saplings because I have none over here with me at the moment. I'm still yet to move over all of my items. I'm being really lazy and procrastinating with it just because it's going to take so long. I brought over some of them, but not the non-important items like saplings. I'll grab them later though. So we are now 75% done with the platforms here if you exclude the underside of them, meaning we are ready to start work on the animal pen one over here. Now, there's been a bit of a oversight on my behalf, shall we say. Basically, I've got this all designed up in my test world ready to copy over here in the survivor world, and I've just remembered that the butcher exists. I kind of completely forgot about him. When I was first doing the city plan, I think in my head I had it so that I was going to incorporate the butcher into the animal pens. That's not at all what I designed. Basically, this entire thing was just going to consist of animal pens. But we're going to have to get the butcher in here somehow. So I'm thinking what we do in the center of this platform is we have a fairly small building, doesn't have to be large at all really, for the butcher to do the slaughtering in. And then either side of it, so we'll split it in half, butcher building in the center. Either side we're going to have 4 fenced off areas, so a total of 8. One of each will have a different animal in, so we'll have like chicken, pig, cow, sheep, and then chicken, pig, cow, sheep on either side. Hopefully that should work, but trouble is I gotta go back to the drawing board now, figure out how this whole layout is gonna work, and also design a futuristic butchery. I have truly no idea what that could potentially look like. You know, I am significantly quicker at designing buildings in this style than I am to anything else I've really done before. It's not really heavy on the details, is it? It's more just geometric shapes and trying to come up with something that looks unique in a way, and I can do it a lot quicker than I can, say, maybe build a medieval house. So I kind of like it for that reason alone. Plus, it's different, right? We've never done anything like this before. I'm loving it. I hope you guys are too. But anyway, this is our butcher's building, which, as you can see, is very much so open at the moment. Originally, I just had some cyan terracotta here, and I was going to have this be the only doorway, because, of course, we have to have at least one of them in every building. But we've done stuff like this in previous villages, with the butcher having it open like this, and the animals fairly frequently just run out. And obviously, as I said earlier, efficiency is key. We don't want any of that. So I'm thinking what we do is maybe just do a similar thing on the other sides, but these can be windows instead of doors. So I have to grab some glass panes in a second, but that should stop the animals running away if they happen to escape the axe of our butcher. Does significantly reduce the floor space in here, but it should be plenty for one butcher at a time, which is probably all that will be in here. There's 1 glass pane, 2, and then 3, and then finally we just have to have our doorway placed down, which is going to go right here. But unfortunately, it means the item frame can't go here because that's not adjacent to this block. The door would actually have to be on this one right here, which doesn't look particularly good. So what we're going to have to do is just very simply put the item frame beside it. But I don't think that's too bad, really. We can't have perfect symmetry all the time throughout the city. However much and I'm sure a lot of you would like that, it's just not really feasible. So yeah, there is our butcher's building all done. And I guess now we can start on the rest of the animal pens. So basically what we're going to be doing here, I don't have anything on me at the moment, but we're going to get some quartz stairs and drop down a block, and then all of that basically is going to become grass, and then individual 4 pens on each side, as I explained earlier. So yeah, let me do that, but I think first I may actually quickly just fly back and get those saplings, so at the same time we're building this, you can watch the trees sporadically growing in the background. That was a terrible jump. I dislike these large oak trees, I'll be honest. I don't really see the point of them. I get that they've been in the game for a long time and they still are in a current version, but what is the benefit? I don't quite get it. Like, they don't look good, and when you're chopping down oak trees trying to harvest some wood, it's nothing but a nuisance, and you just have to spend all that extra time searching around for the hidden oak logs in amongst all of the leaves. And when it comes to TekTopia here, they touch the leaves of all of the other trees, and it causes problems with that. Like, these trees are all spaced out 5 blocks apart so that they don't connect. As you can see here, these all have a 1 block gap in between, because this is the usual size of a tree, 5 by 5. Not these guys. These are enormous and annoying, and I wish they weren't in the game. I know you can stop it if you put blocks above them somehow, but it's not a big deal. I'm over-exaggerating just a little bit. But anyway, as you can see, this is our animal pens all done. So we of course have our butcher's building in the center here, and as you can see, it drops down to our individual pens. Now, I've already explained multiple times in this series how the mechanics of the animal pens work when it comes to how many you can fit inside an individual pen, so I'm not going to explain that. If you need to know, go over to the wiki or just find an older video of mine where we build some animal pens. But basically, for the cows and the sheep, they're going to be going in the 2 middle ones here. We're going to be able to fit at maximum capacity around 25 cows and sheep, which is quite a lot, yes, but it gets bigger. And on the side, we're going to have the pigs and the chickens. Now, the pigs are only going to be about 19 to 20, but the chickens are nearly going to be 60. So in 2 of these pens, there are going to be 60 chickens when it's all, you know, maxed out, just running around. Hopefully that doesn't cause too much lag. If it does, or if it's really loud or just causes problems somehow, then I guess I can shorten it down somehow. But yeah, that's going to be the sizes of them all, which is definitely a lot bigger than any animal pens I've built in previous villages, which is great because I'm always low on like cooked meat for the villagers. They usually have to settle for baked potatoes. Hopefully this time they'll have something a bit tastier. This is looking awesome. We're soon going to start work on the pathways, connecting them to the center circle here and also doing the underside of them. But real quickly, I just want to take you guys back to when we started the episode. And if you can remember, I said we were having some backlog issues with the Guardian farm here. So I can't really show you all that well. I guess I could hop in here. Apologies for the loud noises. But as you can see, all the drops kind of get chucked out of these droppers and down into that single hopper. Let's close that back up and throw that all in the tube again. And it, honestly, that scared me. It keeps up with it. You know what, we're going to stay down here. It's quieter. It keeps up with it fairly well when I'm not high up in the sky. So I have an AFK platform just built out of glass that I go if I really want to maximize on the drops, because obviously the caves are all unloaded up there. It's just the Guardians, and that's when it gets backed up. So this isn't really like an emergency, something we need to fix pronto, which is why I'm thinking I'm just gonna ask you guys for some ideas. How could we sort of slow the amount of drops that are flowing through the system here? I have no ideas. I'm not a good redstoner, so I don't really know how we could compactly do that, or in a compact fashion, you know, try and keeping it as little as possible. But yeah, let me know your ideas. If we've got any, then we can implement them. If not, then I guess I'll just get rid of my platform up there in the sky. I think we're going to do the underside of all of these platforms here before we work on the pathways. So, as I said earlier, I was thinking of doing our layer of white concrete here at the top, with of course the quartz on top of it, with a light blue in the middle and then a white concrete underneath. Almost a little bit of a sandwich. Now, I don't know whether I should do light blue or cyan. I'm thinking what we're going to do, we're going to make a little bit of a test here. Just go all the way across here with the light blue, then white concrete underneath, and then do that all the way around, of course. And then in the center here, that's when we could bring out the cyan and just fill this entirely in. And then obviously we'll have our pillars just like we have. You can just about see them through the glass there, just like we have for the center circle, but for these as well, made out of the white concrete. So how does that look? From underneath the water, it looks fine. I mean, it looks better than having all of the dirt on show, but from up here on this level, It looks okay, actually. I think I'm just going to go ahead and try it for one of these platforms here, and then once we got a finished product, we can see if we want to do it for the other 3 as well. I'm actually pretty happy with this. It certainly looks a lot better than it did before, which is the main thing. It's nice and smooth. There's nothing else I really think I need to do with it. I could add more detail, yes, but I think that would just make it look a bit unnecessarily messy. This is just a nice clean look and I dig it. Hopefully you guys do too. So we are going to copy it around to the other 3 platforms as well. But once again, I need more concrete. In fact, I need more gravel to make the concrete. I'm perfectly fine with sand. We have a plentiful amount of that, but gravel I am now out of. And I want to ask you guys, how much concrete do you think we would have crafted by the end of this city? If we just go on my statistics here, go to blocks and then times crafted, the way it works in 1.12 is all concrete powder is classed as white. I don't know why that is. If you scroll down further, you can't see any other colors. So I've nearly crafted 50,000 concrete powder already, and I haven't really used this in any other project in this world. It's only been in this one. What do you think that number is going to be at the end of this city? Place your bets down in the comments below. I'm personally going to say 250,000. Is that too much or is that too little? I mean, it's already 50,000 and we've barely just started. But yeah, I'm going to say 250,000 concrete would have been crafted at the end of this village. I'll try remember to come back and check it once we're all done here. But you guys may have to remind me. My inventory is looking worse for wears. For a start, this is all of the gravel I have. 2. I need a lot more than that. My elytra is on its very last legs. I honestly don't know if this is enough to get me to an XP farm. Thankfully, I have backup, just none with mending on. I should really try and get some more of those books if I can. And also my bow is very close to breaking, so I need to repair my elytra, get a new bow, or add another bow onto this one. We don't want to get rid of the bow of Eriduine, of course, and then head into the oceans, gather a bunch of gravel, and then, as I said, we're going to do what we've just done here for the other 3 platforms. Well, this has taken me a little bit longer than I thought it would have. Basically, for the past few hours, I've been having constant power cuts, so what I thought was meant to be just a 45-minute task has taken, well, a lot longer, but as you can see, we've got it all done. The platforms, the pillars, and also the third P, the pathways, connecting up all of our 4 circles that we built today with the center one. And all I did very simply was kind of just hollow out this middle bit in the wall, change this white concrete up for a cyan, and from underneath it looks pretty good. You wouldn't really be able to tell that was looking a whole lot different earlier. Like, that would have been white concrete, so I changed that out as well, and maybe I should get rid of that. I'm not sure, but for the most part, it's looking pretty good. So I am super duper happy with how this is looking. Let me just take a quick fly up here and we can have a general overview of everything we've done today. I may have just gone a bit too far. Nope, that's a really cool angle. I absolutely love how this episode has gone and all of the progress that we've made. It's been a very good one, and this honestly just excites me even more so just to continue working on this city, because can you imagine the utopia we are going to create when we get, I'm not even sure how many platforms it is in total, probably 4 or 5 times the amount we have here, maybe even more than that. I cannot remember off the top of my head, but these 4 are looking awesome. Next episode, we will once again be working on some more. I'm thinking we're going to start work on the houses so we can actually get some villagers, because right now we're 4 episodes into the city and we haven't hired a single one. So that, everybody, is gonna do it for today's episode. But before we say goodbye, I do have one quick thing to tell you, which is actually something I've been seeing a couple times in the comments recently, and it was to do with the villager resource pack that I mentioned quite a while ago. Basically, I run a resource pack in this world called Rustic TekTopia, and it changes some of the icons. If I can just actually go into the town hall and show you here, it changes some of the icons to look a bit more rustic, hence the name, and the newer version also changes the villager skins. This one and the architect I think have been changed ever so slightly, but the actual villagers themselves look a whole lot different. And I mentioned maybe using it for this village or city just so it gives us a bit of a different vibe, and I have actually got it installed now, but obviously there's a supreme lack of villagers, as I just said, so we will be introduced to some of them as we get them the further on this city progresses. So yes, I have got it enabled, just haven't got any villagers around to show you, but we will look forward to that as we get them. But thank you guys so much for watching this episode. I really hope you did enjoy and that you're looking forward to the next one. Can I just fly here, please? There we go. Thank you everybody so much for watching. I'll see you next time. Bye for now.